This is a good one, ain't it? Gold blue cams. I like this. I'd like to go through this because we'll actually do a, oh shit, I don't want to do that. We'll actually do a review on what one of these are because, like, Donut does a shooting operating. I want to do a Sharps operating, right? I want to take a few of these incidents in terms of the skid steer safety. And again, I've got maybe not every NTF under my belt or what I'm looking for at the moment being relative to my timeline and the MTF cargo container, stage nightclub, or whatever variable might addendum its way down the way here as far as some of those cases. But I certainly want to break this down here. You know, this is a fairly long subject matter. Well, you know, sometimes being the bones guy doing the Sharps experiment, walking through, well, what do we got to look at, guys? How about a bunch of MS-13 guys in Brazil locked up and getting fucked up with their rights until things get squared away downtown? Now, again, the cities don't look bad other than New York having a few squeakers running around downtown. Gotta keep an eye on
On March 8th, 2022, police
it's a job.
responded
It's
to a
Post,
local
man. King of
convenience store after
the
receiving a
critter
retail
killers,
theft
brother.
complaint in La Crosse, Wisconsin. The 37-year-old male,
And yet
Edward
it's not
Bobner,
much, but you
had
gotta know
stolen
how to do the
food
soft
items and
McDonald's
consumed
on
them
this
in the
kind of
store's
stuff.
bathroom without paying.
We're gonna watch the incident. Come in, again, security post right here. You know, why isn't this thing, this is a beautiful way to stop robbers with a lock-in to this set here. In, lock, hit the gate, shut that, lock that. Have a button, man. Murder button. Get a diode dude or an Arduino person. So he's, you know, alright, coming in. I'm a security guy. Blind study, I'm looking at him, alright. Off the hop, yes, because yes, I don't assume everybody. I've worked behind a cash register before. They eventually teach you, keep an eye on them. It's a little awkward culturally, system-wise, but this is not their facility, it's yours. So coming in, doing things, grabbing things, going, this so far normal, getting good, I don't know. I actually like to flash cash before I walk into a building, just to let you know I got a little bit, make sure I square it away. You know, walking into the dollar store, hey, I'm here to spend the cash on money ROM. It's the first bit. Of course, that could get two-faced. These guys walking in on him taking a dump. Hey, you know what? And if I was eating a Snickers, he would have been right. I have money, lady. I will happily pay you. I'd be telling you about it through the door right now. I couldn't handle that Snicker bar staring me down. I couldn't handle it. But for me, again, yeah, why didn't you leave your stuff outside of your camera? Guy, I'm going to put my shit right here. Go take a dump, no frame rate to miss inside of it. Guys, I want you to understand, again, not this guy. I'm sure this guy never had it in school or anywhere else after being arrested, like his own, because it was his that fucking did it in turn. And then this cowboy walked behind the counter, like immediately inside here. You know, this is a ass beating squared, short of this guy being a free American to do so, not knowing what the hell's going on. And then this poor snowflake right here, this honey bun, you just be safe. Don't worry about nothing. You don't even need to worry about it. We'll be kicking his head in later. Don't worry, hon. Yeah, this one here, she knows. She's willing to take backhand for what she believes. I believe you, huh? She would be too. You feel me? It's like I'm not being Sharps harassment, but you're looking at the same fucking thing I'm looking at, cowboy.
Officers were able to make contact with Edward. He had a no-contact order in place for the Quick Trip convenience store and was already out on
Delport.
2 bonds.
Delport. So, we're missing everything in the comms first. Let me begin. So, is this you? This guy walking out? They seem to be quite squawkety about what you believe is the wrong way to do things in this world, brother. The only guy on a red goof cap, brown hoodie with a green hoodie under it? No. I'm not saying it's impossible. Energy, I'm probably highly unlikely.
Those are cigarettes that you took? Yeah, everything's in the bathroom stall. When I was in there, I went to the bathroom and she's like, bathroom check. Yeah, I'm in here, everything's in here. Like, you want to slide on the
It would be momentum in it. Obviously, I've watched this twice.
Why'd you leave everything?
This would be the second time.
This is yelling at it. They got done coming in, I couldn't finish taking the shit.
Again, remember how I stated those things? That's what I would have been stated when I was in here. Your officer, again, she chased me out of there. And it wasn't even the circumstances when that camera represents that, because that's really what would have happened when being there.
Is there anything else that you took? Oh, everything's in the bathroom stall. Literally, like, I got so bad, I was like, just figure it out. And, like, I didn't want to leave and stuff like that, because everything's in the bathroom stall. I'm saying? Like,
Why'd you leave your shit? Well, again, you know, you gotta. Why do you think it's really common that you bring people? If I was working in there, if you were working there, what would you be thinking if somebody walked in the stalls with a bunch of food and somebody's job to watch the cameras on meth junkies walking in there all day? What does, man?
What's the reason for your thefts today?
I was gonna pay for it until she started grabbing this out by hand.
But you went in the bathroom and already ate it.
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
Hey, what?
multiple things on the. And how common is it for somebody to go behind the cash register and grab cigarettes and a lighter?
I wasn't going to, then I got mad.
Well, that was
Yeah,
all.
sure.
Okay, there's no reason to get mad at her for stealing yourself.
It sure almost scared the hell out of that one lady that was cash register worker that didn't even know really your involvement.
I don't harass.
Well, there's no harassment when you're stealing from the property.
Sorry, I didn't leave the store with that. When somebody
Are you
grabs,
supposed to be in there?
when somebody grabs you, like I just feel that way. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay. Well, I'll take a look at the video.
Yeah,
But you're also on bond not to be on their property.
not this one.
All of them.
Any
I
quick
didn't
trip.
know that.
Yes, all of them.
So you're gonna be taken into custody. I need you to put your cigarette out. Go ahead and stand up for me, please.
Actually, just a
Like I said, hook him up. This priority one looked pretty good. He's already going. You know, he's already going. A couple of them sitting on low ground. That's a hard move right there for the jiu-jitsu. Really, it is. The leverage is working against you real hard. You know, first priority hooked in here. Loving the protocol. And I love this operation to break down the pie chart. Now, I don't know what they're making, but I'm sure it takes a cost to get to this level of training right there, especially with what's going to begin to happen through here.
When officers placed Edward under arrest, he became resistive and non-compliant.
It was quick. You got to be sure about that. Like I was talking about that Jedi stuff that helps you get into there and study some big keys that have it. You know, you don't really know the tile until you see it. There's a lot of file out there. Why you check somebody's is not just you want to keep stuff in local, and old hat stuff does that. Like whatever. Well, if you're doing Masons or Saint whoever. It's at least a math equation base. Now, what'll help here later on is because we'll be doing that. I mean, eventually, brother, you're strong enough, you're smart enough, obviously, here to be doing some stuff. Got kicked a couple of times. This is all absolutely solid. Loving all of it. Taser right there in the POV about life in general. And again, you know, it comes to the concept of, again, this is a no-swing situation. You know, hand it to the cop guys. Have a cop video, send it to somebody. You do what you will with this information, but I want you to fucking have it. In areas where cities, and they got to have a brief on this for sure. Like, there's a reasonable standard situation. The cops ain't gonna let you get away with certain stuff. It's not freedom of any place you live on the world. There's American rules and standards that give you the freedom to be able to do any of that. And that's like common negotiation of faith in regular communities outside keeping problems down. And, well, there's the problem by incident. The problem is it's a 1 and a 0. Now, look. To a Sharp's case here, it's hard that the camera really does specify what that is. As of the moment, there's a magic moment with 0 still on it. Stop kicking. The horse's saddle is all ripped up in a piece of metal. That's what they're idealizing. The problem is a prosecution coming against that's going to be about. Now again, this doesn't look totally locked, ripped, ready to go because as soon as it come through, it come on. So again, that's a lot of twist.
move back, Terry. We'll hold him until the third one
Because
comes
he's
here.
kicking.
Yeah,
I could've let him go.
On the ground.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna
We'll talk about, you know, it's a hot thing, Salt Arena. It really is, but that's how you wind up that getting mad horse kicking you in the head. If I haven't said it already. I think I had another video where I was talking about doing it like this and not understanding the concept. And again, the photo is right here. Again, have a remember if you can to think about
That
it.
was my face.
Battle buddy. Like I said, you know, well, you quit grabbing that, hold the response on the unit for coming through, sirens in the background. Well, I want you to understand 42 at Bonesid Way, Convergence in Rome, right? As much as the officers here, and I'm trying to clean up a safety thing, make my Z-coin on what it is before the prosecutor gets involved, or the defense attorney about whether we can conduct that through the pipes correctly, and again, the arguments after all the suits and charges are going to be on them, and what should happen after the point of confinement, given, again, some of the initial momentums of the terms being brought up, and therefore what the differential of Well, as you get through this, you'll watch again. You know, it will go through a noodle facility. And I want to talk about talking to the guy. You are a wild animal, my good sir. In the cage, the choice is up to you. You want the regular wheelchair, or do you want this? Because I could choose not to talk to you. There's a lot of incident, and I mean just right to him. You choose not to talk to you at all, not being necessary for what happens in here. You being alive, all the bubbles, sealed cams in the pool. Jump in. You get a hot and some food. Don't make it harder on what we have to do as far as lunchtime. I'm not saying we're taking it away. We're not Brazil, and hopefully we're trying to keep it undercover if it was, right? We don't want all that shit either. Bit different now.
Get your feet in there, kiddo.
You know, soldier, but, you know, at the end of the day, just because dirt, you know, fucking
You're a
ridiculous.
soldier now.
At any rate,
Don't see spit in my damn squad.
look at them. They're hammering up clues, doing things, pie chart, good number, good set, good response set inside of what it was.
You in alright?
People got kicked a little bit, but that it happens. This is a reality of the farm we keep. That's a different type of farm, but still bulls and horses and billy goats and every other kind of critter running around down here.
Yeah, he spit.
See, spit, evidence collection, make it quick, turn it through. All this great stuff right here running through.
He needs to be
That's one of the
searched
things that he
again.
stole.
Yeah, he stole a bunch of
And then
stuff.
cigarettes too, apparently.
And does the photo? I mean, I guess it comes up. Well, he spilled his juice. No, I mean,
Edward had stolen
there's a
cheese
data
stuffed
compression
spuds,
inside of all
strawberry
that.
milk, cotton candy
POV.
soda, Hostess Singer, chocolate chip muffin, pack of Camel 99 blue filters, Bic lighter, and a sausage egg croissant. The total loss to the Quick Trip was $24.90, including taxes.
Again, in the end of it, you have to look at, even in this ride right here, about, well, there's a process about what's to have happen, and Dora the Explorer playing in the background to some video that they're supposed to listen to. Because remember, they have rights. They shouldn't be talking. And in terms of the investigator, this information is going to come up again anyways, given the gear whip of what happens in the facility.
But every single time you want to fight.
You know, it seems like he's had some priors on the incident, obviously, the things we don't know. But again, it should be at least fairly congruent given the photo of what happens here. Seems like you're getting tight, my man. You know, again, it's going to be hard. It goes to the apartment, comes back around on him. It does. I want to be clear about it. Like, realistically, that's the Cobra we had in having this chemistry bottle right here in the back. Because that's what it'll do to town if I can't refine that back in such a way that
Alright, listen to these guys and do what they
I guess
say.
he power trips or something, robo trips or something. For funzy, that's his kick. And you need to dry out anyways. You'll hear it in a minute, apparently, from what they know from priors. See, and I'm sure he can hear that. And that's an important thing to understand. Officer, Sergeant, what am I doing here? This is your cargo. You're the Alpha Bunny Jesus fish at the moment. So, right there, hey, bud, how you going to handle this? You going to go in the wheelchair? You going to go in the... And as much to the facility in itself, we prefer not to have a bad reputation about how the turnover works for C++ and A out of the refinement out of this. Not to say photos and force, but again, I'm looking at those cuffs. I'm looking at those hands. I'm looking at the jiu-jitsu. And I'm looking for that Sharps energy transmission to not give them an itch to bitch.
Edward was charged with battery to a
Catch you on the next
police
one.
officer.